What's good, family? Welcome back to my clans where hip hop and basketball collide and we pull apart the stories shaping the culture. Today we are diving into a friendship that felt like it defined an era, LeBron James and Drake. One is the king of basketball and once in a generation athlete. The other, the sixth guard, a chart-topping megastar who helped define the sound of the 2010s. For years, their connection seemed unbreakable, from songs to courtside moments, from locker room celebrations to music videos. But in 2024, something shifted. The public saw cracks appear, triggered by Kendrick's Lamar war with Drake. But maybe the story goes deeper. Was this betrayal, a clash of egos, or just a natural drift of two giants living in separate worlds? Let's take it back, piece it apart, and unpack the full weight of LeBron and Drake's relationship. The bond between Drake and LeBron James didn't just come out of nowhere. It traces back to 2009 when Drake's name was bubbling and he was hungry to cement his place in hip-hop. That's when the record Forever dropped with Eminem, Kanye West and Lil Wayne. A lineup of giants. But here's the key, it wasn't just a random single, it was tied to more than a game. The song was tied to LeBron's documentary. The song immortalized LeBron's journey and it placed Drake's voice right alongside the legends. From there, the chemistry only grew. Drake became a fixture at LeBron's games, courtside in Cleveland, Miami, and later in Los Angeles. He was there, celebrating Bron's milestone like family. And Bron wasn't shy about reciprocating. He shouted out Drake publicly, vibed to his tracks on Instagram, and even became part of the cultural rollout for some of Drake's music. But when Bron brought Cleveland its long-awaited championship in 2016, Drake wasn't just another celebrity clapping from the sidelines. He was in the back, part of the inner circle, smiling like it was his own ring. It was bigger than basketball or music. It looked like mutual respect turned into genuine brotherhood. This wasn't just friendship, it was cultural synergy. LeBron wasn't just the face of the NBA, he was the global ambassador of basketball. Drake wasn't just the rapper of the moment, he was hip-hop's most reliable hit maker. Put them together and it symbolized the collision of sports and music on the world stage. A rapper who wanted to be a baller and a baller who understood the heartbeat of rap. Drake leaned on Bron as more than a buddy. He once admitted that Bron gave him guidance during some of his lowest career moments, almost like another brother figure. And Bron, he's always been tuned in hip-hop, curating playlists, blasting new singles on IG Live, even dancing to tracks before games. Fans saw them as proof of how intertwined rap and hoops had become. If Drake was running music and LeBron was running basketball, then their friendship was the perfect emblem of cultural dominance. But behind polished images and brotherhood narrative, there were always whispers. Some blogs suggested Drake wasn't just Bron's cheerleader, but also his connector. They suggested that Drake was bringing women around to private events, the one ensuring that off-the-court celebrations matched the lifestyle of superstardom. Nothing concrete was ever proven, but the rumors fueled speculation about how deep Drake's role in LeBron's cycle really went. And then there is Drake's well-documented obsession with the NBA. He wasn't just courtside, he was practically embedded in the league's culture. From beefing with players during Raptors games to building friendship with KD, Steph, and even college stars, Drake inserted himself into basketball ecosystem like no other rapper. For critics, it felt like he was living vicariously through these athletes. And when it came to LeBron, some saw a relationship that was almost one-sided. Drake consistently pushing the friendship into public eye, cementing the narrative of brotherhood. To some fans, it looked like less eco-partnership and more like Drake needing Bron's validation. Like LeBron's cosign was part of Drake's strategy to prove he belonged at the highest tables of culture. Then came the spark that lit everything up. In 2024, Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. This wasn't just a rap beef, it was a generational clash. The biggest lyrical war hip-hop had seen in years. Tracks like Euphoria, Not Like Us weren't just hits. They were cultural explosions that had the internet, the clubs, even NBA locker rooms buzzing. And right at the heart of it all, LeBron James casually spotted at Kendrick's pop-out concert in Los Angeles. It wasn't just any show, it was Kendrick's victory lap, a symbolic night where he celebrated dominance in his own city. It was Kendrick's victory lap, a symbolic night where he celebrated dominance in his own city. Seeing Bron there sent shockwaves. To many, it looked like a cosign, a signal that the king had chosen a side. Even if Bron himself was just there, celebrating, enjoying the music, the optics, however, told a louder story. LeBron in Kendrick's house during Drake's darkest hour. Not long after, Drake's music started to reflect the tension. On Fighting Irish Freestyle, fans immediately caught the reference. LeBron's high school team was the Fighting Irish. Coincidence? Maybe, but the timing felt loaded. Then came What Did I Miss, with one of the most talked about lines of the summer. I saw bro want to pop out, with them being dick riding gang since headlines. I saw bro to pop out with I saw bro to pop out with them, but been dick riding since headlines. That line is crazy. It's fun. That bar hit hard. Headlines was one of Drake's breakthrough singles back in 2011, and Brown was there during those days, visibly supporting him. For Drake to frame it this way, it sounded like betrayal. You've been with me since the start, but now you out there vibing with my enemy. Anybody can understand that. Whether subliminal or direct, the shots felt personal, and fans wasted no time connecting the dots. When Complex pressed LeBron on the situation, he kept his response professional, even graceful.
Drake, are y'all cool? What's the status there? Is this someone you always have love for?
Always wish him the best. Obviously, different places right now. Currently, he's doing his thing. I'm doing mine. But it's always love for sure.
But let's dissect that. LeBron didn't deny the distance. In fact, different places right now was as close as Bron comes to admitting a rift. He didn't air dirty laundry, but he left the door open for speculation. And in celebrity culture, sometimes silence or careful wording speaks louder than outright statements. The reasons this story won't die is simple. Drake and LeBron weren't just buddies, they were symbols. Think about it. For over a decade, fans got used to seeing them as package deal. Bron making highlight plays, Drake tweeting in all caps, Drake shutting down arenas, Bron walking backstage with like family. So when cracks appear, it feels bigger than two men falling out. It feels like a cultural divorce. And when you add in the rumors, Drake's role in Bron's inner cycle, his obsession with being close to NBA elites, it makes LeBron's distance sting even more. Because if friendship was more important to Drake than it was to Bron, then LeBron's presence at Kendrick's concert wasn't just casual fun, it was symbolic. A reminder that at the end of the day, Bron doesn't owe Drake loyalty in the middle of the rap war. Meanwhile, Drake's focus on his own path, his 9th studio album, Iceman, is rolling out. And like always, it's coming with layers of conversation. The lead single already stirred up LeBron rumors, while collaborations with Central C and Yeet prove Drake still controls the spotlight. But here's the difference. Rap beefs are expected. Losing LeBron, even temporarily, feels different. Because Bron wasn't just another rapper for another celebrity, he was the king of the NBA, the culture titan, who validated Drake in ways no diss track ever could. For Drake, the question is simple. Can he move forward with the same aura of dominance if the brotherhood with Bron has cooled? At its core, it might be less about betrayal and more about perspective. For Drake, LeBron was an anchor, a stamp of cultural approval. For LeBron, Drake was important, yes, but not essential. And that imbalance explains the tension. Drake is emotional in his music, and when he feels slighted, it shows in the bars. LeBron, he is larger than rap beefs, bigger than industry politics. He can step in and out of cycles without it defining him. So what we're witnessing might just be the natural course of two men with two different needs, different roles, and different legacies. So what do you all think? Did LeBron betray Drake by vibing with Kendrick? Or was he just enjoying the culture like the rest of us? And is Drake wrong for airing out subliminals against a man who once called him family? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, And don't forget to subscribe to Mike Lance.
I think one of the most pivotal moments for me in my career was when you showed up to the So Far Gone party in Toronto. That prominent marriage between like sports and entertainment,
Right.
it was really big for us. And then from there, I mean, not to be like overly sentimental, but you know, you've obviously just been, we're brothers and we're friends, but you're one of the biggest inspirations, period, in life. I think for anybody that like is into like dominating and just being overwhelmingly incredible at what they do. So I mean, that's kind of how we're all here, I guess.